everyone, I'm Alex Sams, and this is Lady Comic Book History, where we discuss female heroes, their evolution, and their impact on comics, comic book movies, and nerd culture in general. We are being brought to you by heroic girls using science fiction and media in the fight for gender equality. Okay guys, I am here to talk to you about Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it is the easiest way to make a podcast. I had absolutely no idea where to start. I love listening to podcasts, and I knew I had a good idea for one, but I really didn't know how to get started with all the technical stuff. And Anchor makes it super, super easy. First of all, it's free, which is great when you're just starting out and you have no money to support your creative endeavors. Having free resources is amazing. And their creation tools allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your computer or your phone. They have an app that makes it super easy to record everywhere. I have an adapter for my microphone that hooks into my phone, so I can literally record my podcast wherever I am, no matter what. Anchor also does all the heavy lifting for you. They distribute your podcast so it can be heard on all of the major platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and so many more, which makes life so much easier. When there's someone handling the business distribution side of it, you get to focus on just creating, which is what I love to do. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. They handle all the sponsorship matching and everything for you. It's amazing. It's everything you need for your podcast all in one place. So if you are interested in executing your brilliant idea for a podcast, download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Guys, seriously, it's the best decision you can make for your future podcast. All right, diving into 1972. First up, we have Jennifer Kale, who was created by Steve Gerber and Rich Buckler. She debuted in Adventure into Fear number 11 in December of 1972. She is a sorceress and has worked with other magic-based characters like Man-Thing and Doctor Strange. She is also a founding member of the Legion of Night. She was recruited by Doctor Strange as part of the Witches, and this team was short-lived, and Kale appears next in Wundar, the Aquarian, and Siege. She was also considered for the title of Sorcerer Supreme, but was deemed not the one. Funny how two magically coherent, badass, strong, and intelligent women were deemed not the one by the man who was often stripped of the title and abused his power. Fucking interesting. Not surprised, but disappointed. Anyway, next up we have Namorita, who made her first appearance in Submariner number 50 in June of 1972, created by Bill Everett. She, like many women that were created to be a man's character part, largely served as a supporting character for Namor. She did go on to be a part of the New Warriors in 1989, but she was often tied to her relationship with Johnny Storm. But she also had a large part in the Civil War storyline. She was killed during this storyline, but was reintroduced in the Realm of Kings run. And we have yet another one for the list of women whose powers are controlled by their emotional state. Namorita was considered emotional. When she was considered emotional, she triggers dormant Atlantean genes, becoming able to secrete corrosive acid or paralyzing toxin from her skin. You know, when she's emotional, she becomes more dangerous. Ha ha ha. The list is growing and I hate it every time. Though she wouldn't join the overpowered women's list, she does join a laundry list of women whose extent of their powers are affected by their emotional state. Next up, we have Thundra, created by Roy Thomas and John Buscemi, who first appeared in Fantastic Four issue number 129. I simultaneously love her and hate her, how they decide to create her, which, as we found, is a common problem in loving women supers, so here we go. Thundra is a warrior woman from a future version of Earth where women rule over the male population. and she is sent back in time to challenge the Thing to one-on-one combat to finally prove that women are superior to men. So we'll just go ahead and gloss over the fact that the entire basis of this creation heavily contributes to the negative connotations of feminist and feminism in general. Even though this is obvious misandry and not feminism, the likelihood that the men that read these comics and the men that write them are aware of that is zero. Also, most of her storylines are hinged upon her battling the physically strong male characters before joining them to defeat the greater enemy. And then they have her express a romantic interest in the Thing. Look, if you're going to write a misandrist character, then write a misandrist character. Don't have her rely on her physical strength and literally fight for these ideals and then abandon them because she fell in love. That is stupid and gross, and I hate it here. Men need to give it a rest. Anyway, it gets worse. In 1972, we also have Shauna. And it's great. We have Shauna the She Devil, another jungle woman, appearing first in her solo title in December 1972, created by, ready? You're not ready. Carol Suling. Yes, that's a woman. And George Tuska. Well, it took till 1972, folks, but after decades of trying and failing to appeal to a female audience, they finally had the unthinkable idea to have women write female characters. Fucking interesting! The initial series ran for 5 issues, and then the character was reduced to guest appearances, giving us little about her background. And she may have been created by a woman, but as we know what happens when men get a hold of a character, that character quickly goes downhill. So, when the men get a hold of Shauna, the first thing they do is do away with the 2 leopards that were often her companions. But wait, it gets better. Shauna kept these 2 leopards as companions, protectors, and pets, but they were killed off in order to open the door for her to have a romantic relationship, and I quote, eliminated rivals for her affections. Okay. Because you can't just have a strong woman walking around enjoying her shit. You must tie her to a male character. And what better way to tie her to a male character than to just eliminate the living beings on Earth that she loves? What? The more I research these things, the gayer I get. There's just no reason for this ever, and I hate it a lot. So, anyway, that's it for 1972. Because I talk really fast and I did these rants really quickly. So, join us for 1973. Alright, y'all, for more comic book content, follow me at Fangirl Productions 13 on Instagram and Twitter. Search me as Alexandria Sams on YouTube and vocalmedia.com. And don't forget to check out heroicgirls.com, our sponsor for Lady Comic Book History. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll talk to you next time.